Hello friends, let's discuss current affairs. In the very first class of this new year, let's look at this question related to a certain kind of commission that was set up by the CBIC, um, you know, Customs Central Excise and Service Tax Settlement Commission to resolve and settle show cause tax notices. Okay, the CBIC is Central Board of Indirect Taxes and Customs. It's headed by Vivek Johari. Vivek Johari. We could write this. Vivek Johari. CBDT, Central Board of Direct Taxes, is headed by Nitin Gupta. Nitin Gupta. Okay. Finance Commission, for now there is no head of the Finance Commission. We have had 15 Finance Commissions, and the last one, that is the 15th one, was headed by Nand Kishore Singh. Nand Kishore Singh. Then we have the Niti Ayog. I think we just look at the name of the CEO of Niti Ayog, Parmeshwaran Iyer. PFRDA, the Pension Fund Regulatory and Development Authority, is headed by Supratim Bandyopadhyay. Supratim Bandyopadhyay. Okay, fair, I guess. Sitiveni Rabuka was recently elected Prime Minister of Fiji after a close election. And identify the correct statements regarding Fiji. So I'll just take you here. There is a map I selected. This is Fiji. You can see this is Fiji. This group of islands here. This is Fiji. Okay. This is Australia. So northeast of Australia. This up north of New Zealand. And Fiji. You can see here. This is the Federated States of Micronesia. This is this entire large set of islands you see here. This is a major archipelago. Of course, these are all separate countries, but let's look at Fiji. It's an island country in Melanesia that is part of Oceania in the South Pacific Ocean, which is true. Its currency is a Fijian dollar and its capital is Suva, while Nuku Alofa is the capital of, there's a place here called Tonga. You see Nuku Alofa here? This is Tonga, Tonga, Tonga. Okay. So you see, this is the Hawaiian Islands. These are all owned by the United States, one of the 50 states of the US. 50 states of the US. And if you would look up further, you will find plenty of places here. This is Palau, which is one of the world's smallest countries. Then you have Tuvalu, again pretty small country, but there is this Kiribati. If you look at this, these are all Kiribati Islands. They are separated. Actually, they are in four different what are called hemispheres. Northern hemisphere, some islands. Southern hemisphere, southern islands. And if you split into eastern and western, some islands of Kiribati or Kiribati. Kiribati is the local pronunciation. Kiribati. Southern, some parts are in western hemisphere, some are in eastern hemisphere. It's the only country that is present in all the hemispheres. Hemisphere, how do you pronounce it? Hemisphere. There is no P, there is an F when you pronounce it, sphere. Okay, so, and this is Australia, pretty large country as you can see here. And this is where you will find the Great Barrier Reef of Australia, the Great Barrier Reef. In fact, this is called the Coral Sea also. This is New Zealand. This is called the North Island and this is the South Island. New Zealand and Australia are together called Down Under. What are they called? Down Under. Why would they be called Down Under? Especially in the cricketing world, they are called Down Under. Now, this term comes from, if you look at, from their location on the world map. If you look at the Earth as a globe, which it is actually, it's a ball, no? It's an oblate spheroid. The Earth is an oblate spheroid, but let's look at it as a ball. Now, if you look at Britain, it's almost in the northern hemisphere, sloping towards the Arctic. Fair on the map, and I'm talking of the globe. So, if you look at from where Britain is, you will look at Australia and New Zealand. They are under the earth. That is why they were referred to as down under. Down under, basically. So the Brits used to call this place down under, and that's how the name had stuck. India goes down under to play 5 test cricket matches. So that's in this case New Zealand or Australia. Typically it is referred to Australia, but also New Zealand is also included. Often it's included. Okay. Yeah. So okay, I think we discussed this question quite well enough. Which country recently amended a section of the country's criminal law to repeal a colonial era law against suicide? Now, side means kill, sui means self. Self killing is suicide. See, if you were look at words like regicide, regi means king. The killing of a regal person is called regicide. Okay, so from there you could look at fratricide, killing of a brother; sororicide, killing of a sister. Then you have genocide. Gen means people, someone who's by birth, that is. So people, a group of people who by birth are are united by a certain by a certain way of life. Okay, they may have similar customs. They may have tribal, what we say. They may belong to a certain tribe. So it's basically to do with birth. So killing of a large number of people because they belong to a particular group and are united by birth, it's called genocide. It's called genocide. So there are plenty of these sides actually, and suicide it's a tragic thing, my friends. Trust me, it's one of the most tragic things you could ever hear about anything about. Having now in India we do not have a law like this. We had repealed this earlier. The British law. See, British laws come from grounding in customs and traditions, and most of these customs and traditions come from the practice of Protestant Christianity. Protestant Christianity is Orthodox Christianity. Now, I wanted to tell you a story. I was thinking of telling you a story, Protestantism, but maybe some other time. This law with Christianity and most religions in the world invalidate, they hold suicide is a crime against God and against humankind, mainly against God. So, the Protestant Christian, British, they said that suicide is a crime. Anyone who does this crime and fails in doing this crime shall be punished. Yeah, because in case someone attempts a suicide and they fail, in Britain they were sentenced to jail. Yes. This law was brought to the subcontinent by the British. So, till recently in India and till recently in Pakistan, this law stated that any person who attempted suicide, which means failed, would be sentenced to 1 year in jail. Yes, 1 year in jail. So, it is a punishment for having failed, or doing something against the law is something for you to judge. So look at this. Yeah, now Pakistan has said we will do away with this crime. Anyway, someone who's attempted suicide would mean the person is going through trauma, physical, mental trauma, that the person needs help. So we will do something to help the person rather than punish the person. Helping the person is the ideal choice, isn't it? It is a no-brainer, but then law is dumb sometimes. So if you look at this, globally, according to WHO, World Health Organization, around 7 lakh people committed suicide in 2019. That was the last available data. Before the pandemic struck, 7 lakh people committed suicide. And Pakistan is home to about 1 lakh of these. But please understand the numbers could be much, much higher because in many parts of the world, there is a certain stigma attached to suicide. Yeah, it's unfortunate reality for society that there is a stigma. एक कलंक होता है, in Hindi there is a word called kalank. Okay, एक दाग होता है. Suicide means something the person must have done something wrong. See, people go through a lot of things, my friends. It is for us to take care of them, friends, family, sometimes strangers. Yeah, but unfortunately, the society treats people very differently. Okay, it's the same society which would want them, to take care of them, which would want us to take care of them, but they would not, do that for others. So Pakistan, I would want to tell you about Pakistan. This is Pakistan. You see this. Hmm? How big is Pakistan? Hmm. We often talk of Pakistan, but we rarely discuss things about Pakistan. See, Pakistan is home to 4 major provinces. One is Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, Punjab, this is Balochistan, and 4 is Sindh. This is the largest province, okay, by area, and this is by population, largest by population. You can say biggest, no harm. Largest, biggest, hardly matter. Now, I want you to know a little about, if you would write, it would help actually. Like for example, Pakistan, how big is Pakistan? It is 7.96 lakh square kilometers. 7.96 lakh square kilometer big. Now, it has additionally occupied a lot of our country, our territory. It is occupied, if I'm not wrong, 85,817 square kilometers. Yeah, this is the exact number. Yes. Now, if you add this, it comes to about 8.83 lakh square kilometers, slightly under 8.84, which would be the area of Pakistan in many journals of the world. But if we would, from the area stated by Pakistan as its own, we have to deduct the area that Pakistan has occupied in Ladakh and in Jammu and Kashmir. Okay, this is very important. Now, population wise, it is 24.5 crore. That makes it the 5th biggest in the world by area, by population. 5th biggest by population, my friends. So it's preceded only by countries like China, India, US, Indonesia. Right? 97% of the country's population, 96.7% of the country's population practices Islam. Okay. Now, how big is its economy? GDP of Pakistan is about $370 billion. I am taking a round figure. Okay. It is about $370 billion. It is 376, but given the circumstances this year, things are likely to go bad. So $376 billion or $370 billion. See, 24.5 crore, nearly 25 crore people produce $370 billion worth of stuff. Yeah, that's the gross domestic product of Pakistan. Its HDI index is its rank is 161. HDI 161. It's in a it's a country that's pretty much in a bad shape. See, this is the first week of this is in fact one day before your class actually. Pakistan as of today has just about $6.7 billion in foreign exchange reserves. I follow Pakistan on a daily basis. Okay. On a daily basis. I read Pakistani newspapers. I watch a lot of this stuff that happens in Pakistan. And I can tell you Pakistan is deep in a sewer pipe. $6.7 billion is a foreign exchange reserves. Ours is about 575. Think about it. They can barely cover 1 month of imports. and they this year will have to repay their short-term debt, long-term debt to China, to IMF, to Saudi Arabia, to Qatar, to their own investors within the country and outside. Yeah, I mean, things are pretty bad in Pakistan. Okay, that's a little about Pakistan. Usually I don't discuss these things. I've never discussed Pakistan, but today, okay, fair. To recapture, 7.96 lakh square kilometers does not include the area occupied by Pakistan in J&K and Ladakh. 24.5 crore is the population of Pakistan. That's 25 crore. Nearly 97% of Pakistanis practice Islam. The GDP is about $376 billion. Let's make it $370 billion. And current foreign exchange reserves are about $6.7 billion. The boundary line that separates India from Pakistan till Punjab, this area, okay, is called the Radcliffe line. What is it called? A Radcliffe line. Fair. The boundary line that separates Pakistan from Afghanistan is called the Durand line. Durand line. Chalo. In memory of which Prime Minister of India is Good Governance Day observed on 25th December? Atal Bihari Vajpayee. Vajpayee ji was the Prime Minister he was Prime Minister on 3 occasions, okay, 3 occasions. Once for 13 days in 1996, then 13 months in 1998, 99, and 5-year term between 1999 to 2004. Okay, yeah. He was also the External Affairs Minister of India, EAM, External Affairs Minister of India, between 1977 and 79. The Janata Party government is a Foreign Minister of India. He was the first Indian Prime Minister to deliver a speech, UN speech, in Hindi. Yeah, he received the Bharat Ratna also in 2015. 2015. Bharat Ratna 2015. Yes. P.V. Narasimha Rao was the Prime Minister of India between 1991 and 96. Manmohan Singh, Dr. Manmohan Singh Saab was Prime Minister between 2004 to 2014. Vishwanath Pratap Singh, December 1989 to November 1990. Okay, yeah. Good. According to the Forbes magazine, who among the following Indians is the world's highest paid female athlete of 2022? Pusarla Venkat Sindhu. Yeah. The top female athletes, see, she made $7.1 million, that is 71 lakh dollars, which is, if you multiply into rupees, you will get the exact Indian rupee figure. But top 3, I will give you top 3 world's highest female paid female athletes. 1, Naomi Osaka of Japan, $51 million. $51 million. $51 million. Okay, here everything in million dollars. So 51. 2, what's her name? Serena Williams. $41. I'm just trying through this so that there is no confusion. Eileen Gu of China. She's from US, of course. Eileen Gu. See, the first two are tennis players, and the third one is a skier. Yeah, SKI. Yeah, skier. And she earned some $20 million, my friends. $20 million. Top three plus our PV Sindhu in 12th place. Okay, chalo. Pushpa Kamal Dahal, or nicknamed Pachanda, was recently appointed Prime Minister of Nepal for the third time. So if you look at this choice, Nepal, the capital is Kathmandu, and the currency is rupee, the Indian rupee. See, this is Mount Everest. This is on the border with this Mount Everest here. You can see. This is on the border between Nepal and China. Yeah, Nepal and China. So this is Dhaulagiri, Annapurna. Okay, plenty of places that you could learn about. This is Lumbini, where Bhagwan Buddha is said to have been born. Bhagwan Buddha. So much to learn, nah? Isn't it? So, okay. Myanmar's leader is Min Liang Ong. Bhutan, the Prime Minister is Shering Lote. Sri Lanka, Prime Minister is Dinesh Gunawardene. Indonesia's President is Joko Widodo. You could also write one more thing. This is the President. Capital being changed. Capital being changed from Jakarta to Nusrat. Okay, this is a full name actually, but I'll come to this in a while. Okay, maybe I'll tell you the story. There is a map question, so maybe I'll come to that particular place in a while. Which company acquired wholesaler from Germany called Metro AG, whose wholly owns Indian subsidiary Metro Cash and Carry India? They sold to Reliance Retail Ventures. Okay, so this is Reliance Retail Ventures is headed by Isha Ambani. Daughter of Mukesh Ambani. And Metro Cash and Carry is a German company. It is headed by Stefan Grubel. Stefan Grubel. So, where is this headquartered? It's a very big company, my friends. It's not an ordinary company. Metro is a very big company, headquartered in Düsseldorf, Germany. Okay. I wanted to tell you how big is the company. I think it's about $25 billion company. How big is $25 billion? $25 billion is about as big as TCS, Tata Consultancy services. 25 billion euros, which is pretty much the same, hardly any difference. About in euro terms, it will be about 24, so 25, and dollar terms it will be about 27 euro. So Avenue Supermarts, you must be familiar with D-Mart. It owns D-Mart. D stands for Radha Kishan Damani. Radha Kishan Damani. Radha Kishan Damani. Okay. See, let me bring this thing here. There is this American company called Walmart. Okay? Walmart. Started by Sam Walton. Okay? Sam Walton. This is the biggest company on planet Earth. The biggest company on planet Earth. Now, you need to understand that the word the word mart relates to market. So this was started as a normal kirana shop. Today it's the world's biggest company by revenue. $559 billion it made last year, and it's also the largest private sector employer in the world. 23 lakh people work for Walmart. Now, this name inspired D Mart, Damani Mart. You understand this? That's how the name comes. It's inspired. Okay. Aditya Birla Retail, well, it owns pantaloons, companies like Pantaloons. It owns, Madura Garments, which owns brands like Alan Solly, Van Heusen, Peter England, Louis Philippe. Raheja Corp owns Shoppers Stop. Shoppers Stop. I think I was talking about some island question. I think it's already there. It's here. So actually, somewhere I was confused, and this is where Nusantara is. It's not mentioned here, Nusantara. This is the island of Borneo. Okay, the southern part is Indonesia. The northern part is Malaysia. Within the northern part, there is a country called Brunei. Now, I seem to have made spelling error, I guess. Nusantara. It is not Nusartan. Nusantara. How did I make this error? Okay. Nusan. Nusantara. 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 So this is how the name comes. Next time you go past D-Mart, remember Damani Mart. Damani, Radha Kishan Damani, the owner, the chairperson of Avenue Supermarts, which owns D-Mart. From which company has the digital platform company PhonePe separated its business operations and formed a separate entity? Flipkart. Flipkart, when it was a separate company, Indian-owned company, it acquired PhonePe, but now they have separated. But PhonePe's Malik is still Walmart. Flipkart's Malik is also Walmart. Okay. Now, PhonePe is a digital UPI platform, basically a payments platform, which also provides a vast array of services like insurance payments, electricity payments, utility payments, money transfers, stuff like that. It was started by, eyes are burning after many days, Virgin engineer Rahul Chari, Samir Nigam. Okay. So remember, Walmart is a parent of both Flipkart and PhonePe. Flipkart CEO is, what's his name? Kalyan Krishnamurthy. Flipkart CEO is Kalyan Krishnamurthy. Naika CEO is the owner of the company, Falguni Nair. Okay. Now let's clear this and write just one more. By the way, Mintra is also owned by Flipkart. Okay. But Alibaba is a mega company. How big is Alibaba? $134 billion in revenue. I track this company, so $134 billion, my friends, is a lot of money, isn't it? So this company is what's his name here? It was started by two persons, Jack Ma and Daniel Zhang. Ma is gone. Daniel Zhang is the CEO now, and it's headquartered in a place called Hangzhou in China. Hangzhou, China. The Ministry of Health and Family Welfare recently approved an intranasal COVID vaccine in Incovac as a booster dose for those above 18 years of age. This vaccine is a product of Bharat Biotech, which is owned by Krishna Ella. Dr. Reddy's Labs, the CEO is Erez Israeli. Sun Pharma, Dilip Shangvi. I think biological events is headed by Mahima Datla. Not all companies are important, so we will stop it here. Mahima Datla. Okay. Okay. Since we are here, Biocon, a very powerful person. Kiran Majumdar, hyphenated name, Shaw. Her maiden name is Majumdar, maiden surname is Majumdar, but husband's surname Shaw, Kiran Majumdar Shaw. To which mortgage lender has the International Finance Corporation extended a loan of $400 million for financing green affordable housing units. The International Finance Corporation has given $400 million to HDFC, Housing Development Finance Corporation. Okay. So this you could write IFC. The others are okay. Don't worry. They are not very important for now. We have known about them. You write IFC, International Finance Corporation. Please write this. International Finance Corporation. Underline that. First point. Let's write what is it. What does it do? First point. Part of World Bank Group. Part of World Bank Group. Part of World Bank Group. Second point. Offers investment, advisory, 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 and asset management services, and encourage private sector development in low income countries. Full stop. Last one. Executive director Makhtar Diop of Senegal. Makhtar Diop of Senegal. Okay, chalo. The first Veer Bal Divas was observed on Dash to commemorate the martyrdom of Guru Gobind Singh Ji's two young sons, Baba Zorawar Singh and Baba Fateh Singh. Um, See, there are 10 Sikh Gurus. Sikhism was founded by Guru Nanak Dev Ji in 1469. Guru Nanak Dev Ji was followed by 9 other Sikh Gurus, and with the last Sikh Guru, Guru Gobind Singh Ji is passing away, it was decided that there won't be any more human Gurus. There would be the eternal Guru called the Guru Granth Sahib, which is the holy scripture of Sikhism. So 10 Sikh Gurus, 10 Sikh Gurus, and followed by Adi Granth Sahib. Adi Granth Sahib, which is a holy book of Sikhism. Holy book of Sikhism. Okay? See, two of his sons, Guru Gobind Singh Ji had 4 sons, and 2 were killed by a Mughal governor named Wazir Khan. Guru Gobind Singh Ji, in his lifetime, established the Khalsa. The Khalsa, ladies and gentlemen, is the Sikh military brotherhood. Sikh military brotherhood. Okay, to protect the Sikh and Hindu communities from the onslaught, from the atrocities of the Mughal rulers, Guru Gobind Singh Ji started the Khalsa. Okay, and he was also the first to lay down the 5 Ks, mandatory 5 Ks. What are the 5 Ks? Kada, Kacha. Kacha means short. Kirpan, the small dagger that Sikhs carry, Kirpan. What is it? Kesh. So, yeah, Kesh, long hair, but that is Bal. Kanga, comb. These are the 5. Kada, okay. Kacha, short. Kirpan, the small dagger as I mentioned. Kesh, Bal, and Kanga, to comb the hair and all. There is so much to learn, my friends. I am fascinated, with learning. I just learn. Like, when we say 10 Sikh Gurus, Guru Nanak Ji, followed by Guru Angad Dev Ji, Guru Angad Ji, Guru Amar Das Ji, then Guru Ram Das Ji, 4th one, Guru Arjan Dev Ji, who laid the foundation of the Golden Temple complex in Amritsar. Then Guru Gobind Singh Ji, Har Gobind Singh Ji. 6 was Guru Har Gobind Singh Ji. Then Guru Har Rai Ji. Then 8th was Guru Har Kishan Ji. 9th was Guru Tegh Bahadur Ji, and the 10th was Guru Gobind Singh Ji. See, one doesn't need to be Sikh to know these things. It's our culture. It's our common culture. Yeah. So we need to know all these things. Which entity won the Data Security Council of India's Best Security Practices in the Government Sector Award? The Unique Identification Authority of India, which manages the Aadhaar, And I would like to tell you something here. UDI, is run by the CEO is Dr. Subhash Garg. I went to the website, and there I read a few things about Dr. Garg, and I was like dumbfounded, I can say, mind numb. He did his BTech from IIT Delhi, then went to IIM Ahmedabad, where he did an MBA. He was the topper of the batch, so he got a gold medal. So IIT Delhi BTech, IIM Ahmedabad MBA. From there, he went to Johns Hopkins University to work on a PhD in international economics and development. Think about it. He came back, wrote the civil services exam, and he topped it. He became an IAS officer. How hard people work, isn't it amazing? Yeah. SEBI, headed by Madhavi Puri Booch, like maiden surname Puri and Booch post marriage. First woman and youngest chairperson of SEBI. Center for Development of Advanced Computing, the supercomputers India makes them. It's a head body, and it is headed by Magesh Ethirajan. Magesh Ethirajan. IRDA. IRDA is headed by Debashish Panda. Debashish Panda. Debashish Panda. And then PFRDA, we mentioned a while ago, Supratim Bandyopadhyay. India is all set to launch its first indigenously, natively developed, home developed quadrivalent human papilloma virus vaccine next year. Next year is this year. Please understand. Identify the correct statements regarding HPV and its vaccine. It's a viral infection that spreads among people through skin to skin contact. It's the most common sexually transmitted infection. Can also cause cervical, anal, throat, vaginal, penile related penis cancers. The HPV vaccine is nearly 100% effective in preventing these kinds of viruses, cancers. Now, I want you to know that this is the most common form of sexually transmitted disease. It's mentioned there, and it is believed that almost all, I read a very good interesting article on this technical stuff. See, when I don't know things, I read so that I can share some of that stuff with you. Not all the stuff, but some of the stuff. And in the process, I may make silly errors like Nusantar instead of Nusantara. Yeah, it happens. But then I also correct myself because I'm learning. I read that almost all sexually active persons contract HPV at some point in their lives. Most of the time, it's harmless and gets cured within a few days or sometimes weeks, and sometimes up to within 2 years. Sometimes these cells persist and they become malignant and they cause cancer. Yeah, it's always a scary thing. There are in fact 120 types of cancers, and within this HPV, there are 170 types of HPV infections. Yes, 170. Can you beat that, man? So complicated. Yeah. Who's the author of the book Folks in the Road? My Days at RBI and Beyond. Chakravarti Rangarajan, Dr. Chakravarti Rangarajan. Why do we say doctor? Because he holds a PhD from the University of Pennsylvania. University of Pennsylvania. Big shots, man. They worked. See, they're all big shots working, having worked extremely hard. So this guy was also, he did his BTech or something from the, from a Trichy college, and then, he went to University of Pennsylvania for his PhD. So PhD from University of Pennsylvania, RBI governor from, this is the height of the economic reforms time. 1992 to 1997. Also governor of AP and Odisha. AP and Odisha. Governor of AP and Odisha. Okay. I also want you to write something. If you have read Raghuram Rajan, I have read all of his books, Saving Capital, Capitalism to Capitalist, Fault Lines. You write this. Fault Lines. How hidden fractures still threaten the global economy, threaten the world economy. That's the word that he uses, world economy. How hidden fractures still threaten the world economy. He was also RBI governor for some time, isn't it? Yeah. What about YV Reddy? Yaga Venugopal Reddy. Yaga Venugopal Reddy was the RBI governor between 2003 to 2008. At the time of the global financial crisis that broke out in 2008, he led India through the turmoil in a highly efficient way. Highly efficient way. He is also a world-renowned authority on what we say uh, financial markets, money matters, and he's the author of this great book. I've read this book. Um, what is it called? India and the Financial Crisis. India and the Financial Crisis. India and the Global Financial Crisis. India and the Global Financial Crisis dash managing money and finance. Managing money and finance. Money and finance. Look at choice 2. Shaktikanta Das, RBI Governor. M. Rajeshwar Rao is a Deputy Governor of the RBI. Current Deputy Governor, M. Rajeshwar Rao. Which team won the 2022 Pro Kabaddi League? Jaipur Pink Panthers. You know who owns this team? It's owned by Abhishek Bachchan. Abhishek Bachchan. So Abhishek Bachchan's team, Jaipur Pink Panthers, won the Pro Kabaddi League this year. Sorry, last year. Okay. And the runner-up team was Puneri Paltan. Puneri Paltan. You know, Puneri Paltan is a team whose captain is an Iranian. Yes, Iranian is the captain. Okay, chalo. Not much to discuss. Venugopal Dhoot, recently arrested in an ICICI bank loan fraud case, was chairman of Videocon. Videocon was at one point, you know, at the top of the Indian industry, scenario. I mean, industry, top of the Indian industry. So he was like Venugopal Dhoot was ranked as a superstar. He set up TV factories. He got into oil and gas. He got into home appliances, consumer electronics. You name a thing, he got into that. Telecom he got into. That is where he lost a lot of money actually. Okay, and Venugopal Dhoot's TV business. In fact, they was one of the pioneers of color TV in India. Okay, they had a huge factory in Aurangabad, which the company went bankrupt, more or less bankrupt. Videocon, wanted money to run stuff. So what is this ICICI bank loan case? Fair. So there are three players here. One is Venugopal Dhoot. The second is Chanda Kochar. Chanda Kochar. Third is her husband Deepak Kochar. Okay. Now Chanda Kochar was the ICICI Bank CEO. ICICI CEO. Deepak Kochar owned a company called New Power Renewables. Fair. Now, Venugopal Dhoot approach, of course, this is a criminal conspiracy. It is now being said that called a criminal conspiracy. The Deepak and Venugopal Dhoot built they weaved a story and roped in Chanda Kochar, through which basically ICICI Bank gave a 3,000 250 crore loan to Videocon. Videocon gave this loan to, okay, this is the money. This is the loan. 3,250 crore loan was given by ICICI Bank to new, oh sorry, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I think I made an error. I'll just clear some of this, not all of this. Okay, this was given to Videocon. ICICI Bank gave a loan of 3250 crore to Videocon. Even when Videocon's financial conditions were very poor, they received this money. Fair? Now, what is the conspiracy? The conspiracy is that it is believed that Deepak Kochar put pressure on his wife or whatever. They together, they ensured that ICICI Bank gave this loan. In a quid pro quo, that is something in return, Venugopal Dhoot invested 64 crore rupees in new power renewables. 64 crore. Not directly, through a lot of other companies, shell companies and all that. So, Venugopal Dhoot received 3250 crore, okay, from ICICI Bank when Chanda Kochar was the CEO of the bank. And in return, it is believed that Venugopal Dhoot invested 64 crores in new power renewables. So, new power renewables, as I told you, is owned by Deepak Kochar, the husband of Chanda Kochar. Now, currently, the Venugopal Dhoot has been arrested. Chanda Kochar and Deepak Kochar also are in jail. Crime pays, and pays sometimes in a very bad way. A lot of these companies have gone bankrupt. See, Gitanjali Diamonds, it's a willful defaulter. Willful defaulter. It is owned by a guy called Mehul Choksi. You must have heard of this guy. Mehul Choksi is said to have taken a $1 billion loan. $1.8 billion loan. That's close to $2 billion. That is close to, if you take 1.8, it's close to 14,000 crore rupees. He borrowed this money. At that point, it was lower amount. Yeah, now it's currency depreciation, everything is $1.8 billion. Think about it. The guy borrowed money, didn't repay it. From Punjab National Bank, it's gone. The guy is in a country called Antigua and Barbuda, which is an island country in West Indies, Caribbean Sea. Yeah. BPL, many people call it below poverty line. Currently, the company is in that condition actually. But ek zamane mein, when the company was started, it was called British Physical Laboratories. British Physical Labs. British Physical Labs was a joint venture between the Nambiar family and a British company called BPL. They used to make hermetically sealed caps, this airtight, they would seal the bottle airtight and all. They used to manufacture all that stuff. Then they took the same name and got into consumer appliances, telecom and all that. Went really bad. Yeah. They could not keep up with the onslaught of both Videocon and BPL could not take on that competition, made by competition offered, what they say, competition pushed onto them, forced on them by LG and Samsung. Daewoo in those days. Yeah. So, if you look at Sony, one of the world's largest consumer electronics company, okay, this company is headed by Kenichiro Yoshida. Kenichiro Yoshida. That's Sony. Panasonic is a Japanese company. You know the national brand, yeah, Matsushita. Now it's all Panasonic. It's owned by Yuki Kusumi. Yuki Kusumi. CEO Yuki Kusumi. Okay. BPL is not doing well. It is now headed by Ajit Nambiar. Ajit Nambiar is CEO. Ajit Nambiar. Which Indian steel company signed an agreement with True TUTR? I don't know how to pronounce it. I think it's True Hyperloop to jointly work on the development and deployment of the Hyperloop technology. Tata Steel. See, Hyperloop, comprises three particular things. What are they? One is pods. These are pods. These are called pods. Okay, pods, tubes, and terminals, which come here. This they use vacuum technology, to push through high speeds. Um, Hyperloop is said to move with see, speeds vary. Test speed recently that uh, the world's first company to test a Hyperloop system was Virgin Hyperloop. The top speed is 174 kmph, which is not great. Which is not great, and this is a highly expensive technology. Okay, but Tata Steel is going to develop all this stuff basically, the pots, the high quality steel that goes into manufacturing, all this stuff. Let's see how it develops, because it's very expensive technology, still in the development stage. And this TUTR Hyperloop is owned by an Indian called R Balaji. It was incubated at IIT Madras. This SAIL is Steel Authority of India Limited. Its chairperson is Dr. Soma Mondal. Soma Mondal is the first, if I'm not wrong, the first woman chairperson of a public sector company. Soma Mondal. Hindalco, Hindustan Aluminum Company. I think we discussed this Vedanta and all that in the previous session. So, which bank's board recently announced that PN Vasudevan will remain the bank's MD and CEO? Equitas. NSDL is National Securities Depository Limited Payments Bank. It is headed by Abhijit Kamalapurkar. Abhijit Kamalapurkar is the CEO of NSDL Payments Bank. Airtel Payments Bank, Anubrata Biswas. Fino Payments Bank, Rishi Gupta. I remember this because I was discussing this with a friend, Rishi Gupta. India Post Payment Bank, it's just next to my place. J. Venkatramu, one word. Okay. Whom the following persons have been awarded the USD $3 million Win Future Prize in Hanoi for their breakthroughs in global network technology? All of them. But who are these guys? Tim Berners-Lee. Tim Berners-Lee is the father of the World Wide Web. You could write this. Father of World Wide Web. Father of World Wide Web. Father of World Wide Web. And creator of HTML, which is hypertext markup language. Hypertext markup language, and the first web page, page. So we'll just focus on two more names. Look at B and E. Winton Cerf and Robert Kahan. Robert Kahan is also Bob. Bob is a nickname for Robert. Remember this. Okay. So these two guys created TCP/IP, which is Transmission Control Protocol, Internet Protocol. I repeat, Transmission Control Protocol, Internet Protocol. Okay. This guy is called the father of the internet. Winton Cerf is called the father of the internet. Which ministry has been selected as a nodal ministry in India for matters related to the online gaming with monetary risk? MAITI. It is headed by Ashwini Vaishnav. Ashwini Vaishnav. Amit Shah, Home Affairs. Public grievances, it's a Prime Minister of India who holds this ministry, but the Minister of State is Dr. Jitendra Singh. Commerce and Industry, Piyush Goyal. Information Broadcasting, Anurag Thakur. Anurag Thakur. Which institution will serve as a secretariat for science 20, one of the world G20's multiple groupings? The Indian Institute of Science, Bengaluru. Okay, you could write this. Science 20, G20 theme. Science 20 theme for G20. Right. This. You could write disruptive science. Disruptive science. For science for innovation and sustainable development. Sustainable development. Sustainable development. Next. For which of the following categories did the Election Commission of India recently develop a prototype of a remote electronic voting machine (RVM)? Migrant domestic migrant workers. See, a lot of people move away from home to work, in search of work. Now, they wouldn't want to go back to just to vote, because that would incur a lot of expense and of course loss of pay and everything. There are a lot of factors. This given being the reason, you could also look at the lower turnout in some places. If you look at the 2019 election, there was a turnout of about 67%, which is what? One third missing. Nearly, it is believed that nearly 30 crore people did not vote in 2019 general election. Okay, 25 to 30 crore people. To empower our domestic migrant voters, the Election Commission of India has developed a voting machine which would have, one machine would take care of 72 constituencies. So a person could vote through that machine, a domestic worker. Let's say I am from Bihar, I am somewhere in Tamil Nadu. This machine can help me locate if there's an election happening in Bihar, the constituency where I am, everything will be mentioned there. Okay, so it's a good move, my friends. It's a really good move. Things are changing in India through technology. Yeah, this won't be connected to the internet or anything. Okay. With state recently issued orders to conserve the Nilgiri Tahar, its state animal, at a cost of about 25 crore. Tamil Nadu. This is the Nilgiri Tahar. This is the male, yeah, and this is the female. Now, let's look at some national symbols of India and all. Um, you know, national symbols. You have national reptile of India. National reptile is cobra. The national reptile of India is cobra. National heritage animal. National heritage animal is elephant. National aquatic animal. I wrote AC. Aquatic animal is Ganga river dolphin. Ganga river dolphin. So plenty of national symbols we have. Pele, widely regarded as the greatest football player of all time, passed away recently. Identify the correct statements about him. All of them are correct. But why don't you write a couple of more things? His actual name, Edson Arantes de Nascimento. This is a Portuguese name because Brazil was ruled by Portugal for a long time, 1493 to 1821. That was his real name, but nickname was Pele, and only player to have won 3 World Cups for his country. It's 58, 62, and 70. And we should also know that he was, okay, it's mentioned athlete of the century by the IOC. Then FIFA player of the century, you could write this. FIFA player of the 20th century. FIFA player of the 20th century. Dash, along with Diego Maradona, I'm so sorry. Oh, and I'll go back. Okay. So, was it Diego Maradona of Argentina? So FIFA player of the century along with Diego Maradona. Next, last point, 1279 goals. 1279 goals in 1363 matches. I remember these numbers because these are everywhere in the newspapers these days. In 1363 matches, 1363 matches, 1363 matches, dash, a Guinness World Record. Okay, guys, as you already seen this, thanks for being here. Have a lot of fun this year. Make sure you learn a lot of good things and build a better future for yourself. So thank you for being here. Stay curious.